Welcome back to A Game of Fangs and Thrones. My name's Hannah, and this is a weekly reading vlog. Now, it is the week before I'm due to go on holiday again, and I'm only away for 4 days, but they're going to be long 4 days, because I'm going to Paris, to Disney, with the national holidays. It's not sponsors, paid for by my own money, and that means on the Monday I'm going to be up stupidly early. So I'm trying to do as much as I can before to get things ready. So I've probably why this vlog's starting a little bit later as well. But I've just went through and packed majority of the clothes for the 4 days. Well, 2 days. 2 days in the park and 2 days travelling. So I've packed them. I've put my wrist straps, my knee supports and my ankle supports in the bag as well, but I'll probably take the ankle supports back out because when I'm getting my toenails done on Saturday, I'm going to be wearing the sandals that I'm going to hopefully wear when I go away as well, and they rip my feet to bits, so I might as well kill 2 birds with 1 stone, you know, keep my ankles nice and protected, as well as give my heels and my skin some barrier, because it just rubs. It's comfortable enough, it just rubs, but that's what I've been doing today. Oh, and I also had a minor mechanical emergency with the bike. The speedometer and the mileometer weren't working, they were stuck. Turned out the cable that did that had rattled itself loose, so that was a bit nerve-wracking journey this morning and this afternoon, but it was safe enough. I didn't know how far I'd gone or how quick I was going, so it was interesting, but it's all sorted now. So we're just about to chill. It is the second to last week of the readathon, the magical readathon. So it's the last full week, but I'm going to take it up to Thursday because that's the end of the month. But I did finish The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee last night. I haven't ran this through Copal yet. Basically, this is the story of Henry Monty and his best friend / crush Percy, who is epileptic, as they go on their grand tour, which is what many influential gentlemen boys did in the 18th century. They are also joined by Monty's sister Felicity, and I believe she has her own book, which is called The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy. So I will probably pick it up at some point, but it isn't a priority. This did fulfill a prompt. I believe it fulfilled the song prompt, and I cannot remember which one it was, but it fulfilled a prompt for Magical Readathon, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was cute. It did deal with some quite heavy topics. Heterosexuality versus queerness, the patriarchy, that's the word, because there is a scene in here where Felicity has been harping on about getting an education, and now that she's being installed in a French finishing school, I think it's either French or Italian, I think it's French, she's not having any of it, and we find out later on in the book why, and it just rings true of the time. But this is the story of being true to yourself. It's a mad dash romp across Europe to... Actually, I'll not tell you, but basically Percy is being sent to Holland to go to school, and Monty is being told that he has to straighten up, sober up. Straighten up being the operative word there, straight. He has to sort of just pull himself together, basically. Sober up, stop chasing boys, because when he returns from his grand tour, he is going to be trained to be the heir of his father's lands. I think he's a viscount, but it's just so fun, and I love how Percy and Henry come together. So got me into feels. It wasn't a 5-star, but it was still very enjoyable. I will run that through Copile at some point and come back to you probably in the next next installment of Read 9, to be honest, which I did finish the last set, and I do need to film that. I've already bought the book. It's a Kindle book again, but I have bought that, so I just need to film that. Hopefully I'll get that filmed at the weekend, but if not, it'll be next month. Sounds so weird saying that, but because we're nearly in September. Where has the year gone? But all that to say, I finished another book, and I think I have like 4 or 5 left now, one of which is Fourth Wing, but I'm going to leave that until next week, because then I only need to take the Kindle as opposed to multiple books, and I am going to be back in time to do a proper TBR for September. And hopefully I'm not carrying over too many books for readathon. But it's just over there and I can't quite be bothered to get it yet. So what I'll probably do is I do need to update the reading journal, run this through Copile, probably get 3-star, 3-4. And I need to update the reading blanket, which is coming away with me as well next week. All that introduction to say, welcome to the vlog. It's Monday. I haven't yet to pick up a book and read, or do anything other than chill and decompress from work and the not a nightmare, but the stress of having something mechanical go wrong. So I'm going to stop rambling and actually do something. It's now Wednesday. I've been in the shower, in case you couldn't tell. We'll see how this turns out in the morning. This bit of hair needs to figure out where it's going though. I went in the shower. I was planning on going in at the weekend to wash my hair and prep for holiday. But as I was getting the bike in the shed, coming home from work, a little bird pooped on me. Apparently it's lucky, which, you know, we can all do with a bit of luck, but not ideal. But it's Wednesday, I've already said that. But we have a very blue book that we are reading. And it is an old book. You can probably tell what it is by the colour. I just think this cover is such a pretty blue. But it is Strange to Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I picked this up yesterday before rehearsal. And I'm on page 64. I think everybody knows roughly what this story is about, but I'll read the back anyway. The dream chooses the dreamer. Since he was 5 years old, Laszlo Strange has been obsessed with the mythical lost city of Weep. But it would take someone bolder than he to go in search of it. Then a stunning opportunity presents itself in the person of a hero called the God Slayer and a band of legendary warriors. And he has to seize his chance or lose his dream forever. What happened in Weep to cut it off from the world? What did the God Slayer slay that went by the name of God? And what is the mysterious problem he now seeks help in solving? The answers await in Weep, but so do many more mysteries, including the blue-skinned goddess who visits Laszlo's dreams. Now, I think, because I'm on page 64, I think I'm just about to meet the God Slayer, but we have met Laszlo. We've also met his enemy / companion, I'm guessing, enemy to friend, adversary to friend, in Thion, who is the prince. And in this world, there are dreams and there are dreamers. The dreamers don't choose the dream. Laszlo is an orphan, and when he was 5 years old, he was playing warrior to Zane, I think they're called, in the monastery where he was growing up's orchard, when all of a sudden he lost the name of the city and the name was replaced with Weep. Laszlo himself was a bit strange. He's called Laszlo Strange. Laszlo after a mute monk, and Strange because that's what all the foundlings were called. But he was a strange child. Apparently he didn't cry very much. He was very introspective as a child, as a baby. But then he's been obsessed with Weep since he was 5. I think that's mentioned there. And he's made it his life's work to research it. And so, obviously, he's going to go on an adventure, because it'd be a very short story if it wasn't. But I think what I'm going to do is watch Olivia's new vlog, Olivia Reads a Latte. She posted it last night, but obviously I was at rehearsal, which went very well. Chronic pain and dancing don't always mix, but I was able to take it easy enough that I learned the routine and I didn't find myself struggling too much up, and I think I got the pacing right because I wasn't too sore this morning. I just have my normal aches and pains, I'd say. So, yay, we're feeling good. But I'll probably watch Olivia's vlog and do some cross stitch. You know you like these updates whether you want them or not, but as you can see, we have, it looks like a moon. When I take a step back and look at it, it looks like the moon, but we have all of that to do. So let's get cracking. And I think that's it for this update. I did have an idea. I'll tell you about it anyway, and then we'll see if it works on Saturday, Sunday. Because I normally run my vlogs Monday to Sunday, this week's going to be a little bit different, because I decided I'm probably, don't hold me to this, probably going to stop this vlog on the Saturday. It'll still go up on Monday, but start next week's vlog, the Paris vlog, on the Sunday, because I'm not going to be asleep on the Sunday. So it could be fun to do a little 24, well, it won't be 24 because I'm not getting up at midnight. It'll be fun to do a day reading, like be a normal vlog, but with the added extra of me staying up as late as I can to try not to go to sleep, because we are meeting at the coach at the pickup at like 10 to 2 in the morning. It's not worth going to sleep. So, yay. But it does mean that I have more time, hopefully, to read this. And as I've probably already mentioned, I'm just going to take my Kindle. So, it's enough babbling. Let's actually do something. Thursday. I've been home for a bit, actually. I've been home long enough to have something to eat and watch Olivia's latest vlog while I've been crocheting. Not crocheting, this is cross stitch, Hannah. And I am still reading Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, and it still has that really dreamlike quality that I think her writing does. It's very mythical and lyrical, especially when it comes to Sarai's perspective. Sarai, I don't feel like this is a spoiler, but could be. But Sarai lives or exists in Weep. And now I understand why the second in the series is called what it's called. But yeah, and this looks very messy from the back. I've just realised just how messy it looks. There are some neat patches, but the majority of it is a mess, but that's all right because you don't see the back when it's all done, do you? You don't frame the back, you frame the front. I'm not doing a very good job of talking and vlogging, am I? But what I'll do is I'll go until I finished this thread. Once I've done this update, I'll probably just pop on an audiobook, which is Beneath the Keep by Erica Johansson. I'm making my way through it. I'm enjoying being back in the world of detailing. This one seems a lot grittier than what I remember from the main trilogy, but it's still good. All the characters are starting to be moved into where they need to be, and it's not going to be a shush. I don't know if you could hear that, but my camera headphones were talking to me. There we go. Just pop the phone on charge too. But I can't remember what I was saying, so I'm just gonna come back to you if I remember or anything happens. Friday. My hair turned out quite nice considering it got wet. It got soaked when I was coming back from work today. But we're going to just move on because that's all we can do. So what am I going to do? What was I going to talk about next? Oh yeah. We are reading Strange to Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I gave you a synopsis of this at the beginning of the week, I think. I'm this much in, so this will probably be coming with me on holiday. And I'm sure with some jiggery pokery, I can make what I've read fit the prompts for the magical readathon, so I'm not failing completely. To give you an update on sorry, I'd lost the needle there, but it's right in front of me. But we have moved along, so we now have this to do. And I think what I might do is try and watch something on Netflix or YouTube, because I don't want to start reading too early tonight because I want to stay up as late as I can. So then I get up late on Saturday, and again try to stay up as late as I can. So I get up late on Sunday, and so you get where that's going. So that I don't feel tired until later on the Sunday night, because Monday morning we are going on the coach trip, which means that Sunday when I start the next vlog, I'm going to try for like a 24-hour readathon style thing, which I have tried in the past and failed, but it's because I tried to do it on my own. So I'll probably just be, I'll cross stitch and I'll probably try and put a video, find something that's hopefully going to hold my interest enough on either Netflix, YouTube, Disney Plus. I did watch Raya and the Last Dragon the other night, so that fits the prompt for the supplementals if nothing else. And I am enjoying, sorry, I'm just trying to see if there's anything on YouTube, but I am enjoying both books I'm reading. The audiobook being Beneath the Keep. It's not a priority read, so I don't really talk about that one too much, but obviously because my phone and my headphones are coming with me, I'll probably listen to that at some point over the week as well. What else? My nails are getting done tomorrow, so I'm babbling. I can't think of anything to tell you, so I'm just going to stop talking and get some videos down, get some TV stuff downloaded onto this iPad. So Saturday morning, it feels odd to be vlogging on a Saturday morning for some reason, because I'm normally just busy, but my hair is actually behaving, which is nice. But I've just filmed a video, which is why we're in this location, but I've put my teeth in. I've filmed the latest episode of Read 951, so that'll probably be up later today, the Saturday, if I can get it edited nicely. And I'm having to stay in until my nails because I'm getting a special delivery. It is my access card. Now, quickly going to talk about this. I think I've talked about it before, but I'm going to talk about it again because, one, I don't want the comments of, oh, you look able-bodied, why have you got an access card, why do you get to skip the lines? And two, I'll tell you why I'm getting it. So I'm getting this one, same reason why I got the other one, I just don't have them to show you. I got, because I do have one recognised disability and a life-limiting, I would say, condition that doesn't seem to be going anywhere. The reason why I'm getting them is because I don't think I will be able to physically stand in line at Disney Paris, which I'm going next week. My mum also has trouble with standing. She has osteoarthritis, but as such doesn't have a confirmed diagnosis, whereas I have the two. I have my learning condition or developmental coordination disorder called dyspraxia, which is very similar to dyslexia, but in the sense that I struggle with left and right. Time management is an issue, but the big things that affect me personally are my memory. My short-term memory is like non-existent. It's there, it's just not very good, which is why sometimes if it's been a while I'll struggle to talk about a book that I've read. But I remember reading it, but I don't always remember where I've read it or what book it was in, which is always interesting. 2, coordination. I can't tell you how many times I've walked into door frames. My spatial awareness is off, coordination, memory. There's probably a couple of other things, but I think they're the big ones that affect me personally. I also personally believe that there is a crossover between dyspraxia and autism or ADHD. I jump around hobbies like nobody's business. I can't always settle. I'll jump from one thing to another. My brain goes A to C to B, whereas most people would probably go A, B, C. Mine jumps and skips, and it's always fun in my brain. there's the anxiety that I've got. My depression, low mood is stable at the moment, but there is always the risk of that coming back. And then what's probably most applicable to the access card is the joint hypermobility syndrome. Now, I don't have a clear answer as to whether that is related to a bigger, wider connective tissue disorder called Ehlers-Danlos, but I personally don't think I have that. I just have aspects of a hypermobile disorder. So for me, that has manifested in obviously the issues with my jaw. I have a temporomandibular disorder in my jaw, where if it opens too wide, it pops, it clicks, it locks, and it goes past the normal point of motion. But on the flip side, if I don't extend it to my normal, it'll get stiff and it'll seize. So it's a 50-50 about what's going on with this. I get really bad headaches. The reason why I have these piercings in both ears is to stop migraines, and that is fairly successful. Whether it's placebo, actual medically working or not, I don't care. They're not coming out. And then obviously hypermobile joints, which results in pain. I have pain in my hands and my wrists, my hips, my back, my shoulders, my knees, and my ankles. My feet tend to be the ones that are most affected. I've just seen a bird out the window. That's another dyspraxia thing. I'm distracted. And then, so that's the external, but I do also believe that my IBS is affected by my joint hypermobility because of collagen, and collagen is present in anything that moves in the body, I believe. I'm no expert, this is just personal experience. So, that being said, being stuck on a bus, not being able to move, is going as much as I normally would, for like 12 hours, because we're going on a coach trip to Paris, which is how we've got it so cheap. That's going to cause some interesting issues. So I have supports on the, oh yeah, they are. I have ones for my knees and ones for my ankles. I also have wrist supports, and I have a walking stick for when pain gets really bad that I don't want to rely on unless I have to, which is where the access card comes in. All it does is it's just going to give me a pass where I don't have to stand in the line as long. I'm not sure entirely how it works, but when I pick up the pass from Town Hall at the Disney parks, I will ask them and get that clarification. So that's fun. It's fun being in my head. So we're just chilling today. I will get my nails done at some point today. I'm also treating my mum to getting hers done, and I'm getting toenails done. The challenge for today, well, not challenge, just goal, is to finish Stranger Dreamer. Because I don't really fan. That book is big. And while I am taking my Kindle, I'm also going to be taking my iPad. I've got some films downloaded, some shows and films downloaded onto there from Disney Plus and Netflix. I have my phone, obviously, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to vlog, but we shall see. But I just wanted to explain a little bit about why I'm getting the access cards, or why I've applied and been accepted for them. They're not for everyone, and just remember, there are invisible conditions. My sister had asthma. You won't be able to tell unless you get her running, but that's under control. I think it's almost gone. With myself, with my learning disability and my joint condition, my mum has arthritis, a form of it, and my dad has type 1 diabetes. But to look at us, you wouldn't know. So basically what I'm saying is, be kind to people. You don't know people's struggles, and if people feel that they can trust you with medical information, be kind, be supportive. Don't advocate for them unless they need it, unless they ask for that. But yeah, and I'm going to stop because I'm been talking for so long, I've made myself dizzy, and I haven't had anything to drink yet. So, also, if you're ill, chronically, just feeling under the weather, perfectly healthy, drink some water, because I am. So it's now still Saturday afternoon. I got my nails done. Where's the camera? We got some marble going on until the Mickey. And I've got Donald Duck inspired French tips. I'll see if I can convince her to show you. But we have a crochet hook because we are going to be looking at a Disney blanket. I may listen to an audiobook at some point while doing this. I may not. But at the moment, we're just chilling. I do have the book upstairs with me. I have A Stranger Dreamer upstairs with me, so I can always, dip into that at some point, because I do want to finish that before I go away tomorrow. And I'll come back to you later on with an update of what's happened and to close the vlog out. But just look at how pretty they are. No reading has been done unless you have reading instructions, because we have a very funky looking Cinderella pumpkin carriage. I'm obsessed with these little squares that I do. So it takes me a while, and I can only do a few at a time before I get frustrated. But all of this is for the Disney crochet blanket, and I have 4 more magazines to sort out and pop into the binders. But that being said, I have, how many do I have left to do in this binder? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 4 magazines, but one of them does have 2 squares. So I think what I'm going to do now is, if I'm being honest, grab something to eat and then go sit and read downstairs for a bit. Because, the goal for today that I am procrastinating on was to try and finish Strange the Dreamer. I forgot what it's called there. Try and finish Strange the Dreamer before tomorrow, so then hopefully I can just bung out. Hopefully I can just finish some shorter reads, ready to just take the Kindle away with me. So, enough procrastination and time to work. Well, not work, because reading isn't work, but you know what I mean. Time to do some reading, that's what I meant to say. And I'll show you my toes. You'll see everything in the next video, but I did get my toes done as well as my nails. But that can be tomorrow's vlog, so stay tuned to see my toes. That sounds so bad outside of context, but I'm going on holiday tomorrow. Well, I'm going on holiday on Monday. Tomorrow I'm going to be delirious, which is why I'm ending this vlog at some point tonight. But back on track. I'm rambling. Food, then read. Me again. Well, who else would it be? But I finished Strange Dreamer by Laini Taylor, and oh my god, that ending, just what? I'm in shock, and I don't know what. You can tell I like this book, can't you? But I didn't think it would get this ending for me, but I was pining for them. I was just, yes. This, I need to read 7 more books so I can get the sequel now. this has become a priority, and I have no idea if any of the books I'm going to read are going to be able to top this. And I will give you a proper review in the next Read 9. But just for now, 5-star ending. Like, what? Why? No. Just as they were. No. I think by the incoherent babbling, I think you can tell that I like this book. But that leaves me with a dilemma. I was expecting to finish Stranger Dreamer a little bit later and just finish out the vlog with finishing that book. But since I have finished it now, and it's still only like 4:45, 4:46, I still have time to kill. So I think what I'll probably do is read A Natural History of Dragons, which is the memoir style story, the false memoir. And I can't remember much more about that, so hold that thought. We'll do a swapsies. So we have A Natural History of Dragons, a memoir by Lady Trent, actually by Brennan. And I'm not gonna lie, I picked this up for the cover. But this follows Lady Trent, who is known to be the world's preeminent dragon naturalist, brought the study of dragons into the clear light of modern science, but before she became an illustrious figure, bookish young woman whose passion for learning defied the stifling conventions of her day. Here at last, in her own words, is the true story of a pioneering spirit who risked her reputation, her prospects, and her fragile flesh to satisfy scientific curiosity. So, this is another series, but there's a map. Oh, it's finished, and it was published in 2014. But yeah, I'm very excited to start this. And there's a preface. Is there an author's note? Okay, then. No. It's not an author's note. It's a picture. But it is about 351 pages. And considering I have just sped through 500 odd, I think I should be okay. But I'm just reeling. Let's see if I can calm down enough to read this one. And I'll come back to you at some point to update and close out this vlog. So, yes, I ended up needing to strap my wrists up. They've been a little bit sore today, but I mean, considering it took a while to get my nails done, we'll let it pass. And I am reading, so that can aggravate them at times, but it's worth it when the book I'm reading I'm enjoying, which I am so far. So I'm reading A Natural History of Dragons by Brennan, which is told as a memoir by Lady Trent, and I'm only about 72 pages in, and I am enjoying it. I'm not one for memoirs or biographies anyway. I think I've read like 1 or 2, 3 maybe. But this reads like the ones I have read, but also with a Victorian or Jane Austen. Torn about them. We are following Lady Trent, or Isabella, and she is affluent and she is aware of her privilege at the start. At the age of 11 or 12, she basically bullies the stable boy into taking her on a hunt for the wolf drake, the wolf-like dragon that is taking livestock from her father's lands. She's also, when she was very young, about 6 or 7, was caught massacring a dove to try and understand why they have wishbones and what the wishbone is for. She subsequently finds out, but after giving her mother a heart attack and driving her father to despair. So, like I say, I'm only on chapter 5, which is like 72 pages in, so I don't think these are spoilers. But so far, she has gone. This gives me a vibe of London, but not our London, because obviously you have dragons in this world, but we don't in our world, which is such a shame. But we can't have everything. She was taken to Fulchester, I think it was, when she turned 16, 17, as her introduction to society, her coming out, which in today's context means something completely different, but moving on. And she basically, her brother, because Isabella is the only girl in a set of 6, I think. She's like the middle child. And her brother whisks her away from an afternoon of what would be boring to her riding to try and impress some guys, because, you know, it's what mothers did in debutante times. They schemed and plotted to get their daughters the best marriage. But thinking more of Isabella's happiness, her brother Anthony, or Andrew, I think it's Anthony, takes her to the king's menagerie, where she sees for the first time 3 dragons and impresses her and outs herself as ink nose, which I'm taking to be a complaint, a criticism about women reading, women being educated, women wanting to better themselves, but it's an argument for another time. But she is fierce and independent and just won't back down. And she meets Jacob, who then becomes her husband purely for the fact that she didn't want him for his money. She knew him for his hobby, as he is a naturalist as well. And there's a scene where he calls on her and she's just like, yeah, I'll marry you if I can have access to your library. Trigger warning for baby loss. Just going into that, it is very subtle. It's mentioned in like one line, but it is told as a memoir, so she does just come out and say it, so be wary of that going in. But so far I am enjoying it. I am loving the style of writing, and I'm loving Isabella. She's just doesn't care really. But the plan is, because it is only 5 to 8, the plan is to stay up as late as possible tonight. But it's for the sake of everybody else in this house, I'm going to end this vlog here. So to hear my thoughts on A Natural History of Dragons, even though I'm not planning on finishing it tonight, tune in to next week's vlog, which I'll be starting tomorrow. But with that, it's the end of the video. So give this video a like if you've liked it, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see this, talk about these, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.